Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your 8th, 9th, or 10th favorite reality TV recap podcast, hosted by an international, monogamous,
yes,
transatlantic,
cold,
very cold.
The weather has turned. We're in the cabin and it's pitch black outside and it is barely evening.
And
this country's dumb.
And what is a British podcast without talking about the weather?
Well,
now,
exactly.
As we say all the time with our opening, if you are one of those things or none of those things, if you're all of those things or none of those things, we are a very broad church. We do ask that you not bring in hot food, but we've got two newcomers sitting at the front here.
They could be described as hot food. They're pretty enough to eat and they're hot. Who have we got?
Do you want to stand up and introduce yourselves, newcomers?
It's like an AA meeting. My name is, and I'm a celebrity from a TV show. Who have we here?
We've got Shane and Mert from 90 Day Fiancé UK.
Yay!
Now, we've kept this under wraps, and we want to thank our Patreonies for keeping this news under wraps, because we've been very, very excited about this. And so this is like a huge surprise to everybody else. Thank you all for keeping the secret. Shane and Mert, welcome. You are not so far away. You're in North Devon, is it?
Yeah, so not too far away.
Yeah, we were meant to be in Devon this week. We were talking about my mum off air. And she lives in Poole. So if you run into her, just do whatever she wants as quickly as she asks for it, right? Otherwise, there'll be trouble. So no, we love kind of Devon, Dorset, Cornwall. Yeah. It's the pretty part of the country, isn't it?
It's a very nice place. It's like definitely the gem of the UK, I'd definitely say.
And it's definitely the gem of any of the places that have been filmed on 90 Day UK.
Clacton.
Poor Clacton.
Oh, bless him. We've got family out that way. So we get it. But in season 1, we were very worried about the state of the representation of the UK.
Everyone was in the same place for season 1. They were all in.
It was all North Yorkshire or West Yorkshire, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
We're going to get in trouble for that. We always do.
Yeah.
So how is married life?
Yeah.
It's good. It's a bit boring. It's good. I think the excitement of the last sort of 12 months, it's all sort of died down. The show was finished. All the stress of the wedding, moving from Turkey to England, flying backwards and forwards. It's all just died down now, and it's just very calm and relaxed, isn't it? There's not a lot going on. Yeah. But it's nice. It's really nice.
Are you able to go to Waitrose and kind of go to the corner shop and things without getting hassled?
I wish I could go to Waitrose. I wish I had that. But
I was just thinking about the duck that you brought home, Mert, after your big Waitrose splurge.
So,
is he bringing it?
The duck is always on hand.
Amazing!
Hey!
Aww.
I love the duck.
Actually, I think we went on a TikTok live the other week, and we asked people at TikTok to name the duck. So she's now called Daisy.
Okay.
Aww.
She hops around the house a little bit. She's got quite a place in the bathroom, then in the kitchen. Sometimes she's in the living room. So she's a well-travelled duck. But yeah, I think
it's a sound investment then.
Yeah, it was.
The joy it's given you.
Yeah, I mean, when he first brought it home, I wanted to put it where the sun didn't shine. Yeah, now that, well, she's part of the family now, Daisy.
Oh, it's your firstborn. It's a beautiful thing.
A second, because we've got the cat Candy. So.
Oh, that's right.
And I've always wanted a duck, but we can't have a duck when a real one because of the cat. So I've got this pottery duck, which is very nice.
I would suggest getting a pottery cat instead and a real duck.
I might do. She brings in mice and different things, and she's a right little hunter-gatherer, but I think a duck would be a lot less stressful.
We have 2 dogs, and one of them is a Frenchie. and we had like it was a mockingbird, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Sorry, no, it wasn't. What am I doing? What storybook have I had my head in today? A mockingbird. I don't even know what a mockingbird looks like.
It was like the Frenchies in the Hunger Games.
It was a magpie. A magpie flew into the house, and the Frenchie like leapt into the air, caught the bird in his mouth, and I'm like screaming. I'm like, Robin, what the? Like I couldn't even form the words. I was so upset. But the bird was fine. The dog was fine. I had just never seen anything so savage like that up close.
Yeah, they could be pretty savage.
Quickly, doesn't it? You just don't expect it.
Yeah, I had a crazy cat, Pookie, named after Garfield's teddy bear when I was a kid. And I used to come down in the morning and find these really expensive koi carp. You know how like koi carp costs like thousands of pounds? And I find these incredibly expensive fish just flapping on the floor that the cat has stolen like from some rich neighbour's pond or something, and just come down and find thousands of pounds slowly dying before my eyes.
It's a very handy cat if you can keep the fish alive.
No, he just brought them as gifts. He never murdered them. The only thing that he would leave that was dead were his Tods, his poos, which he would leave in my sister's shoes. So I kind of love that cat for that, just because he would poop in her shoes. Yeah, it's good. Have we gone off topic? Yes, we have.
A little bit, yeah. So Shane, our American listeners may not have caught the piece that you wrote in Metro that I thought was beautiful in early September. Had you done much writing before that? Has that been an interest of yours?
So that was the first bit of like real writing I'd ever done. When I was in school, I didn't know whether I wanted to be like a journalist. I wanted to go down so many different avenues when I was in school, and I've always been pretty good at writing. But these days, I'm always texting and you're always on your phone. And it was the first time in a long time I actually sat down with a pen and paper and wrote down everything. Admittedly, I think 3/4 of it had to be cut out because I put so much detail in. I think they only wanted like 1,200 words, and I think I wrote 4,000.
Cutting things down is the night. I mean, I was a journalist for many, 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 many years, and that's the hardest bit by a million miles. Like getting it out, like writing, you just say what you would say, right? It's actually right, but it's getting things to length.
Going.
Yeah.
Well, it was an amazing article, and there were a few things that I wanted to pull out, if you don't mind, if it's not. About your story and how you met, because I think they sort of glossed over this, and on the show. So like all great modern love stories, you met on an app. And you were
at this point, it's weird to meet someone another way, right? If friends of yours said, I saw her in a supermarket, I went up to her, said that she was you'd be like, you are a creep. That is disgusting.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. It's like, if you don't meet on an app now, it's weird. But yeah.
Yeah. And you found out that later that Mert, you traveled 300 miles and spent over 400 pounds. So that's like $500 on a taxi for the first date just to come.
Because I always listen to my heart. If you're driving somewhere from Devon to London, you put in the car app the location, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my location for my life, my heart is my location. I am listening to my heart. My heart telling me just go. And the first day for my holiday, I am being there. That after morning time, I said, I want to come to see you. I was surprised I come to see you. Because I can't. I don't want. I have booked for 3 days, 4 days, but first day I direct changed my mind. that I'm going to see a Shane.
Aww.
And a bit more in depth.
Yeah.
So obviously, like I flew to Turkey to be with my sister while she was having surgery. I was originally going to stay in the hospital with her, and I was going to just look after her, blah, blah, blah. And I think it was just before we left Heathrow, I thought to myself, I don't really like hospitals. I'm not good with all the bleeping. I need to get some good night's sleep. And I need to be rested for my sister. So I decided to book myself into an hotel. I think it was like 2 streets away. So I thought, yeah, that's fine. Got into Turkey. I downloaded Grindr. Wasn't looking for anything in particular. I just wanted somebody LGBT friendly that wasn't going to like kidnap me, wasn't going to murder me. And just someone that like, I wasn't looking for anything. I was just looking for a bit of company in the evenings just to, while my sister was having surgery, someone I could have like, some food with, someone that could show me around. And this handsome man popped up as the first person. But he was on a holiday in another part of Turkey. So
I have sent locations.
Yeah, I thought he was from the area that I was in. So I was like, oh, okay. He said, oh, I'm not in the area. And he said that he was a different part of Turkey on holiday. And he said, if I come back and you're still in Turkey, I'd love to meet up with you. And then that was that. And then I think probably 6 hours later, you said, I've changed my mind. I'm coming back to see you. You'd only been there a day.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
But I'm not buying this. Oh, I just wanted to find, friends, people to hang. This is all a bit Sophie from 90 Day Fiancé Original Recipe. Are you watching that at the moment?
No, I've not watched it.
Do you not watch? All right, there's a girl called Sophie, and she. Am I not? No.
I just thought we're having a nice conversation. Anyway, it's still.
Well, she claims she was using Bumble just to make friends, and I ain't buying none of it. I ain't buying it.
So another, and then it said in the article, and I'm quoting here. At departures, he presented me with a passport photo of himself, the date of the day we first met written on the back. Alongside it read, I will love you forever, my wife.
Yeah. So obviously when we were going back to the airport, we asked the transfer from the hospital, and I think Matt's actually going to go and see if he can find it. We asked if he could get into the transfer with us back to the airport. Let me tell you, I cried the whole way. I've known this man for 6 days, told him I loved him on day 5, and that was it. I was madly in love with him. And I was crying and crying and crying at the back of this taxi. My sister's all bandaged up, ready to go back to England. And so this is the...
Oh.
So he actually gave it to me in the taxi. So this is flattering photos of him.
It's a passport photo. No one looks good on a passport photo.
So he gave it to me. It says like, Shane and Mert, I will love you forever. I will never leave you alone, my love. And then I think we just got to the airport and you just disappeared from me. And I thought, oh my God, maybe this was all like fake. Maybe it was all a joke. He's given me this thing and he's just vanished at the airport. And then you came back, didn't you, with 200 cigarettes for me? Because he thought, this is a really funny story. His favourite cigarettes in Turkey are Parliament cigarettes, and we used to smoke them all the time.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm sorry. I get so excited. I'm an ex-smoker, and I love Parliament Lights. Were the love of my life for about 15 years. Like I started smoking when I was 15. Parliament Lights.
Yeah. He's actually got some here as well.
No, don't.
Mike's going to send some for you. Get you smoking again.
No way.
So we were smoking those in Turkey, and he came back. After there was me thinking he'd just done a runner, and he came back with these cigarettes, and he was like, "This is something else for you."
Excuse me, before I forget. I'm using this smoke maybe totally 17 years. Parliament, 17 years.
You like?
Yeah, not for hair, but I can't stop.
There's nothing better. And when I tried to quit the first like 4 times, I would be like, okay, I'm just going to smoke Newports or I'm going to, because I really hate menthol. And then I got addicted to menthol.
Yeah.
And it never quite works, but that's Parliament Lights. That's my brand. And I never see it over here. I
know. Like, I'd never even seen them before, but he said to me, when you go back to England, every time you have a cigarette, you'll think of me because these were our favourite cigarettes. And it was cheesy, but it was cute.
Blighty Day Fiancé would like to make it clear that in no way do we endorse smoking. We think it's a terrible idea for anyone to start. That said, it is cool and sexy.
It's very cool. It's very sexy. And we bonded over smoking too. Like we were like the last 2 smokers in all of London. And we had to quit because of my beautiful stepson, Alfie, not his real name. But, you know, when we moved into each other, when we moved in with each other, that it was like, okay, that's...
Well, I'd already stopped around him. That's the thing. You were just my, I can have a cigarette with someone again, buddy.
I know.
Smoking
I was
brings
like...
people together, right?
It does.
It does. Like... you make friends, you see people when
you do
up when you go outside and have a cigarette.
Yeah.
All the other smokers, you get a chat, or can I borrow your lighter, or what are you smoking? It's cold out here today.
Right.
Right, forward friendships in the smoking shop. You always do.
I'm old enough to remember when they had like smoking rooms in offices. And again, like all the cool kids would be in the smoking room, and that's where you'd sort of bitch about the management because they never go in there. It was all sort of like, it was like the equivalent of a union or something. We'd all be in there smoking our tabs, complaining, but we got really close because of it. I miss all that, but obviously kids never start smoking. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. So another thing that I thought was really interesting, and I am saving the best for last, and we'll move beyond the interview, but another thing that I thought was really interesting was we got to see the proposal on the show, obviously, which was incredible. And honestly, I've been watching all of the 90 Day shows for like since season 1. I think when I moved over here kind of permanently, I maybe missed a season or 2, but like I'm a very loyal viewer of that. And there's never been a more, and I'm not just saying this to kiss your ass, like there has honestly never been a more moving proposal, and there's never been one that meant more than yours.
Right.
And then I found out in reading the piece that you wrote that you were actually going to propose to him, to Mert.
So I think it was, I don't know when I decided, it was a couple of weeks beforehand that I was going to propose. But I didn't know what his ring size was. I didn't know sort of what he would like. He's got an eagle on his chest as like a tattoo, and I found online this eagle. It's like a signet ring with an eagle.
Oh, right.
So I thought,
oh, that's gorgeous.
I thought maybe he'd like that. But no, I think I'd been every day that we were in Turkey, I was thinking, right, today's the day. The day that he gave me the bracelet that was in the little teapot was the day I was going to propose, but it just didn't seem like the right moment. The spark just wasn't there. I just didn't feel, it didn't feel like it was the right time. And obviously when he gave me the present then, I thought, right, no, I'll do it the next day. Then I'll do it the next day. And when we got on the boat, and I was like, wow, like, this is amazing. And when he got down on one knee, I thought, right now, it's now or never. Like, I haven't got any more time. I'm going to have to do it now.
Yeah.
But I just think it was so magical. And you blew it out the water. I've been watching TV, reality TV, everything since I was yay big. And it was definitely the best proposal I've ever seen in real life or on TV.
Ah,
yeah.
That's the whole thing with you two. Like, I'm good with a bit of drama. I can handle a bit of drama. What I don't like is when you get the feeling that people are on just because of drama. But what I really, really love, what I crave, what I need is
people to root for.
Genuine love.
Yeah.
Is actually like, we see so many like love stories on TV and in movies and stuff, but there's something about actually seeing people properly falling in love, which you only get on shows like this. And it's still, even on shows like this, it's still really rare. But you two, Katie and Alejandro, are a bit like it in season 1 as well. And obviously that is what it is. And it's really sad and stuff. But like, give me a couple like you to root for and I can watch the show. But if there isn't one, I sort of wonder what it's all for. But I can't think in any of the franchises of a love story that's as kind of beautiful as you two.
Really and truly. And I forgive me for picking up my phone, but our producer, Cousin Dan, who is a massive fan of you both, and they send their love. Unfortunately, they're in the midst of opening a pub and they couldn't get bar cover for tonight, and it's a Thursday night, so you know what it's like. You've been out, I'm sure.
However, if you're ever up north, there's a good night waiting for you.
Yes, there really is. Cousin Dan absolutely adores you. So Cousin Dan wanted to ask a couple of questions sort of on this topic. Do you see, Cousin Dan is queer, non-binary. Do you see your story, as I did, that it was a story of non-binary joy rather than the usual queer narrative of alienation and suffering?
Definitely. I feel like it's weird because when we went into the show, we thought, and we got briefed by the producers, cameraman, we even spoke to welfare, and because of what we stood for, we thought that we would get the most hate, we'd ruffle people's feathers, and it would be very 50-50 where people liked us or absolutely hated us. Right. But once we watched the show and watched all of our amazing moments, so many people messaged us and said that we were such good representation, because we get it's not like we don't get queer representation on TV, but it's not always positive. We don't really get that happy ever after. It's drama. Something's gone wrong. But no, a lot of people have reached out to us and said, like, thank you for giving the queer community such a good representation. And especially the trans community with what's going on in the UK with Rishi Sunak at the moment. It's just, I think it's now or never. We need more trans representation. And it's nice to see that Big Brother's got Hallie on there at the moment, and like Married at First Sight has got why can't I think of her name off the top of my head?
We've not been watching this series of Math Suck. We'll get to it, won't we? We're huge Married at First Sight Australia fans, but
we love Married at First Sight Australia.
We'll get to it, but we've not. Don't spoil it for us, because we will get to it. We will get to it. But yeah, there are a lot more trans people on these shows at the moment, but quite often the storyline is, will this person accept me? Will their family? And I know there was a little bit of that for you, but it was sort of not that it should be quickly resolved, but almost like from the viewer's point of view, immediately there was love.
Yeah.
And
it's just refreshing. I'm not saying that's everyone's experience.
Right.
But it is some people's experience. Yeah. Like, being queer isn't a curse, you know? But the stories are always so fraught. Yeah.
I mean, for us, obviously, when you watch the show, everything's cut down so much.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone's stories have been filmed over we all filmed for different periods of time. Me and Matt filmed over just under a year.
Right. Wow.
What we saw was just tiny, tiny little bits of what happened. We actually signed to the show. I think we'd been together for a month when we actually applied for the show. We'd only met each other twice.
Wow.
The time where you saw, time where you saw us meeting at the airport, that was the third time we'd ever met each other.
Oh my God.
So you watched our story the whole way through. But the amount of stress that wasn't shown on the show of, because I stayed there for like 6 weeks at a time. Every time I was in Turkey, I was there for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And Matt used to work like 14-hour days, 6 days a week sometimes. And it would just be me and his mum in the house. And sometimes she'd get very like, so my Turkish name is Shema. She'd be like, oh, Shema, I love you in Turkish. But she would touch my face.
Right.
And it used to make me so paranoid. I'm thinking, oh my God, does she know? Is she trying to feel for something? And it was just like little things of like waking up in the morning and making sure like I put on like a slightly higher voice so I wasn't outed. Because Matt and his sister had always said like, we can't tell my parents, like they won't go down well. And Matt, your sister even said that if we told your dad, it might cause his dad to have a heart attack. So all that stress was on me for, oh my God, like 8 months. Like every day I'd wake up thinking, oh my God, is today the day? And when we met new family members, I'm thinking, oh my God, like make sure I used to shave sometimes twice a day. I've had laser and I used to wax before I went, but I still get a bit of facial hair.
Yeah.
But I would shave everything until the point I was red raw, just so I didn't get found out. So what you saw, even though the outcome was so amazing and your mum took it so beautifully, like you don't see the whole stress of like how intense it was every day to
I can imagine
that secret.
I mean, I say I can imagine, but I can't. That's the thing. I've never had anything that I feel I have to hide. And you're madly in love with this guy, you know, but most people don't have the risk that could just be taken away like that. That's terrifying. I guess, and let me know if you don't want me to ask this, and I hope it's not an unreasonable thing or a not okay thing to ask, but the story as it was presented was, Shane, very much like your kind of story there, but Mert, had you already like come out to your sister but not your parents? But what did they think? I guess the story was more about will they accept you, but was there a story about them accepting Mert as well, Shane?
No, you haven't come out as bi to your parents, have you? Like your sisters know, but nobody else knows in the family.
Just my family house, my father, my mom.
Oh, your mom and dad do now?
Yeah,
that you're bi.
What?
That you're bi.
Bisexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they do know?
Yeah.
Okay. You think so?
Don't worry, we're not going to tell them.
my two sisters now. Well, I'm bisexual.
Right.
Emel and RJ. But I must tell anyone.
Are you okay talking about it? Because I don't want to talk about anything that people don't want to talk about.
My two sisters know about I'm bisexual. But I have telling my family about Shane gender already.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he talks about it on TikTok and on Instagram.
Right.
He's fine telling the world that he's bi.
Okay.
I think you're just worried how your parents would view you, even though like they viewed me fine. I think it's a different thing when, even though it was our secret together, it was like a double-ended secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying. It was presented very much of kind of your perspective.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Like it's the UK show and in a sense, you're the hero and, you know, so yeah, but I was always thinking, you know, the stakes are really high for Mert in this as well, you know, but Mert's always so damn, there's such a kindness. I know like occasionally you will get kind of, you know, anxious on the show or a little bit stressed and stuff, but I think you're cool as a cucumber, guy. There's just this beautiful serenity about you.
I have all that, but Shane not. I have all that. I have all of my life. I know I am always positive person. Never. I don't like negative. If just for example, if I am meeting with someone, if this one give me negative, I directly leave it. I'm not being friends with this one because I don't like. Yeah, I need always positive. Keep going.
But that used to cause us to have arguments in Turkey. So obviously, like, I'm not used to like the Turkish culture. Like, obviously your parents are very like strict Muslims. I'm not accustomed to this sort of way of life and how things work, especially with religion and what would happen if they found out. And I was so worried. Like, and my mum even said, she said on the show, like, what happens if you come back in a body bag? What if they find out? Are you going to get beaten up? Are you going to get killed? And I used to say these things to Matt, and I'm like, what happens if someone finds out? Like, what are they going to say? Like, if they find out, they find out. Like, and he was just so calm about it. And I'm like, how can you be this calm? But it used to frustrate me because
I believe my insight.
Yeah, but I used to say to you, like, this is making me so stressed. Like, I think what I tried to explain to Matt is, and I used to get snappy with him sometimes in Turkey, because when you're trying to, even though I was being myself, I was trying to hide parts of myself. And you become like this persona that you're trying to like make people see you as. And it becomes so draining when you're doing it hour after hour, day in, day out for 6 weeks on the trot. Like, you're playing, I don't like to say you're playing this character, but people see you as this certain character that you have to live up to, even though 90% of that is you, but you're changing things, you're changing like how I would speak, what I was wearing, how I would sit, different things like that. And it used to just get so draining. And Matt was like, "It'll just be fine." And I'm like, "It's not going to be fine. I'm stressed."
But he was right.
Yeah,
but we all do that to some degree.
But
like
there
when
is...
we meet, like the friends and family, we all try and sort of. But obviously, it's a much more enhanced version of that.
Yeah, and I can. This is not in any way, an equal thing. But I'm autistic, and me trying to be a normal person, and like anytime I go to a party or I'm out or whatever, any situation where and I work in the legal field as well, so especially when I'm in court, I'm constantly and I don't know if you had a similar experience, Shane, but it was like there was me, and then there's the me that's watching me going, don't do that weird thing with your hands.
Yeah.
Sit up straight. Don't talk like that. Like, make the right kind of eye contact, but not too intense eye contact. Don't talk too loud, speak softly because do you know what I mean? And
it's exactly the same. Like,
and that is,
I tried to make too much eye contact with people because I wouldn't want people looking at my face thinking, "Oh, is that a man or is that a woman? Is she trans?" I didn't want that eye contact, and especially with a lot of your family that I'd never met before. They were very inquisitive. They wanted to talk, and like, I know a bit of Turkish, but the Turkish language is it's more of a husky, more of a deep, bassy language.
Right.
And I didn't want to speak in Turkish because it was going to give the game away. So I, like, really squeaky English voice, just hoping that no one would speak to me. At the end, and I should have just believed you that it all will be fine. But when you're in that situation, you just don't know. When your fiance doesn't know what's going to happen, and you're in a different country, like with different rules, different views on things, it is scary. But it worked out all well in the end.
And did any of Mert, how did your past relationships kind of, before you met Shane, do you feel like the relationships that you had before being with Shane changed the way that you related to her? Like, what did you both, and I guess it is more a question for you both, but were there experiences that you had each gone through separately in the past that you felt kind of brought you closer together?
Do you understand it? Or to like,
I know it's a really long, I'm sorry, I'm bad at phrasing things sometimes.
So, like, when you had relationships beforehand, like, is there things that happened in your relationships that made you, when we got together, understand both of us more? Like, did you You understood. I didn't even need to do that.
She's thinking I can't speak English.
Well, you just look a bit puzzled. You just look like with the head.
No, he just likes to put you through the work. He does that to me all the time.
I do that.
We have so many unnecessary sound checks. It drives me crazy.
I have, how I said in the film, I have more girlfriends in my life, but I want just true love. Want true love, but when I have spent time with all this my girlfriend before Shane, just they were with me just for money. I got a beautiful, very nice house in my country, Istanbul. Few residents. Just they want to be with me.
Using you?
Yeah, using me. Come to my house. Spend time with me. Just
what you could give.
Yeah, just for this, not for true love. Then when we have a meeting, first night we have more cry. Then we spend 5 days. I have thinking in my inside. I said, this is being true, maybe. I can accept this. Then we stop.
So have you always been able to trust your heart in that way? Or always?
Always.
So you've had that?
For everything. Because we are aware how if you truly thinking and listening your heart absolutely giving you answer. Not need anything, just listen to your heart for everything. For job, for family, for your husband, for your child, for everything. Just pray and believe your heart.
Because your heart.
I'm not talking about any religion, because my family, very Muslim, but I'm just human. My God, my heart. My religion, my heart as well. I don't have God. I don't have any religion. I have respect for all the religion, for all the humanity, for all the people. But just listen to your heart, all the truth for life. Not need God, not need religion, not need anything.
We all love Mert a bit, don't we?
But we loved you from the beginning.
We did.
Like, we really did.
I know at the start, the way, and again, edits, blah, blah, blah. I know it was presented because there was the birthday drink, right, and all of that. So, like, at the start, we were meant to think. And I was like, oh no, it's another person.
So worried.
Person from a Muslim country being a bit, because I can't be doing with that storyline.
We're so tired of that.
There,
we've seen it time and time again.
Thank you so much. And I was like, oh God, it's this again. But I felt, look, you can say, and we don't need to go into massive detail, that was a little overstated, I think, right? A little bit?
No, that was full blown us. You saw on the show probably 3 minutes of a 2-hour script.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So what actually happened was, it was a beautiful day. So it was my birthday. Mert had bought me a cake and he was at work and he got this cake delivered to his work and he FaceTimed me and they all had cake for me.
Aww. I remember the ladybug cake.
Yeah.
That was so cute.
Quiet. I woke up in the morning and Matt wasn't with me. I wasn't in Turkey and I was just feeling like really sad and I cried and cried, got myself together. And then you gave me the ladybug cake. Then I cried again, pulled myself together, went for a nice meal. And I don't know how much I can actually say about this. Something happened while we were recording the birthday meal scene. We were just setting up and Matt rang me and he saw somebody in the background, which was the waiter, right?
Yeah.
Which was the waiter. And that's when it all started to kick off, because he thought we were sat at a table with a different man. And he was texting me, texting mum, and all this. So I had to turn my phone off. You were going absolutely crazy, weren't you? And one mum just ringing was saying, look, stop ringing. We're having a nice meal. It's our birthday. And then after that, me, my mum and Grace had gone for a couple of drinks. And we were in the pub, and he was already wound up thinking, he was like, who was that man? Who was that man? And I was like, it was the waiter. He was asking for our drink. He was like, no, he was sat with you. I said, no, he wasn't.
Okay.
And because he was so like, all right, we've got to put the phones down, blah, blah, blah. He'd seen that. And then we went into the pub, and he'd never been into England. He doesn't know the pub culture. And
right.
He just saw, like, it was just me and my friend Grace then. And like, there was loads of guys on the jukebox and the fruit machine behind us. And you just got a little bit paranoid, didn't you? Yeah, you got jealous and you got paranoid. And then I ended up crying and crying and crying. And then the next day, you could see, like, I just drank my way through the rest of the night. I went home and I just, like, I think I went back to Grace's house, actually. And when we got back to mine in the morning, I was so hungover. And we were actually meant to be doing Grace's hair. So I was meant to be doing Grace's hair. And then you rang me. I think, Grace was making a cup of tea or something.
Yeah.
And I just thought, right, okay, I'm going to tell him how I feel, and he's going to apologise. No. It's like, no, this is your fault. This is your fault. And then, like, you obviously seen like a bit of a clip, but my psychotic side fully came out because I was so hungover and I was just screaming down the phone at him. How can you not see that this is your fault? You made me cry. But since you cut to the UK, like, you love the pub now, and I think within
right now, I tell him, please come. We're going to out.
Yeah, we're going to the pub
now. No, babe. She telling me no. I don't want to go into out.
Yeah, when he first got to the UK, I did get a very big heartfelt apology. He said, like, I'm in England. I understand, like, the pub, like, those men weren't, like, there with you. There was just people going on. And, like, as soon as you came to a pub and you were in England, like, you understood and you did give me a big apology. But I think, again, it was just, like, women in Turkey, especially, like, because obviously Mert's family is Kurdish. Kurdish culture is very different to Turkish culture.
Yeah.
And you won't normally see women going out by themselves in an all-male environment, getting drunk, sort of thing. So I think for you, it was a big culture shock. You didn't understand it. But now he's like, come on, babe, have a drink. Come on, go out, come out.
I think another one of the things that I think everyone loved about Mert is with these shows, there's one of two things that can be brilliant, right? When someone comes over and they hate it, right? I'm currently, and again, you're not watching like the other 90 Day, but I'm loving Jasmine clowning on Michigan. It's a joy, right? Yeah. But I also really love it when people come and are happy. and like, I felt straight away like there was none of this, I don't like it, it's too cold. There was just, again, it's what you always get, I think, from Mert, which is just this sort of warm acceptance of everything.
It was hilarious when you were in the water, Mert, though, and you were like, in my country, the water is crystal clear and you can see to the bottom. And in this country, it's dark.
And then sharks, I'm going to get eaten by a shark.
Yeah, I want to see a shark here.
And that is the best water in the country as well.
I know. That is good. And those beaches as well. It's like, I
think the scene that moved me more than anything, and again, this is what I really love when people come, not that I'm like, I want people to come and be like, oh, this is so fantastic. But when you looked around like the flat, are you guys still in that same place?
Yeah, we're still at house, So it's your first ever house, like a 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, that's right. It's a house, isn't it? And just it was nothing to do in any way with, it wasn't transactional, right? Which you sometimes get on shows like this. But it was just, there was just joy. And it was so moving to see like you be appreciative of like the work that Shane had done to find this, and just I could see the happiness you were going to have in that home. I don't think I've ever seen that on one of these shows.
No,
we both cried. When
we sobbed because it's like when you could just feel the significance of that moment almost as much as the significance, you know, of your wedding. Just that moment of that home, that first home that you were going to live in and share together, that you had both. I mean, I'm sure when you were growing up, neither of you could have imagined that you would have that. And that's something that you've talked about a lot, Shane, and you brought up in this quote, which was my favorite. I'm really sorry because I'm so like, a lot of people think autistic women in particular just have no emotions, and it's the total opposite. It's like every emotion all at once hitting so hard. You said Maeve. You said Maeve is the bravest. Like, who's Maeve? Right. Sorry. Mert is the bravest man I have ever known. He loves me for being me. He is equally proud to be mine, and he's not scared or worried about being seen with me. And I think, Mert, you are unbelievably brave, but not for the reasons maybe that someone who hasn't seen you on the show might say. Like, you love someone with all your heart and so completely, and you hold nothing back. And it was such a privilege to have you on the show and to be from your background, because like we've said many times on the show, we've had men who are Muslim, who are from Turkey, and you know, they hold back a lot because that's in your culture and you're taught to hold back. And you gave us everything when you gave everything to Shane.
Because maybe I never know what's going on tomorrow. Maybe I'm going to die. I don't know. I'm not scared about country. Yeah, I'm from Turkey, but I'm not scared. Yeah, of course. I didn't stay. I did spend time with my wife. Very nice time. I did give in time for my beautiful.
Well, another time that I guess that we saw where people might have thought it was a bit like the birthday thing was like at the party before the wedding.
Can we sit in that really lovely moment for another?
Oh, I'm staying in it for the next month. I'm staying in it for the next month.
I wanted to thank you both, but thank you, Mert, for being that person that Shane knows you are, because that courage isn't just what you've given to her. It's what you gave to the audience. You held nothing back. And it was so clear. Sorry.
Now I was going to say was completely relevant.
Okay.
I wasn't changing the subject. was after the thing with your mum when she drove away, Shane.
Yeah.
And we need to know what happened there. Mert was really upset, but the way we saw that was exactly the devotion that Michelle was talking about there, which was like he would take a bullet for you. And all I saw in that scene, I wasn't seeing a guy who was being kind of, dramatic for no reason or starting trouble or anything. I just saw someone who was like, the person I love is suffering and I'm not having it. And I actually thought that was incredibly romantic. And I know some people didn't necessarily feel it. They were like, oh, he's back to how he was on the birthday. But no, that isn't what I saw at all. I saw you as like, this person is like, we must have peace.
Yeah.
And I can't just turn a blind eye to it.
do like my little protector forward.
Yeah.
So what did happen? What was with the show up and the pull away?
Sending?
Yeah, so
explain. You can't. You're not going.
No, what I want to do is set the scene, because what we saw on the show was just that little bit of the hand do.
Okay.
So
you remember all those things? True.
Yeah, just about like Mum. So I think it was the day before we moved out into our new house. Me and my mum had crossed words. We were going to have like a very nice evening together. It was going to be our last night. Sit down, have some drinks, watch TV, have some nice dinner. Didn't end up that way. I won't throw my mum under the bus, but one thing led to another. Turned into a whole different ball game. We nearly moved out that night. My mum swore to never speak to us again and to never come to the house. And then I don't think we spoke for 5 or 6 weeks afterwards.
Wow.
That is so your mother.
That is so my mother.
And it was only something so small. It was over... we were talking about cigarettes earlier. It was over cigarettes. It was over something so stupid. And different things, obviously, like I was moving out and my mum said that it was basically over finances and she wanted me to help pay for half of her bills. And they said, if you cut down on your cigarettes, you'd be fine, because she goes through like 2 packets a day.
Right.
And it just stemmed from there. And it was so stupid. Looking back on it, it was such a stupid thing to happen. But we got back on track. Mom said she wasn't going to be on the show. We were fine with that. We just sort of like on our separate ways. And I think on 2 occasions, Mert and Mum had fallen out, but mainly Mert and Mum before the wedding. So there was a time at our house that she'd actually come round. It was very frosty. It was very awkward. And it wasn't like a falling out. There was just all three. We were just a bit spicy with each other. And then when we were doing the wedding rehearsal of like the planning of the decorations and how we were going to come down the aisle and trying everything out, I think it was like 2 weeks before, there was another almighty argument that involved me, Mum, and Grace. And then I didn't think she was going to come to the wedding. Fast forward to the hen do. Mum said, yeah, that's fine. I know, like, she hadn't been feeling well a couple of days before. But she said to me, yeah, I'll be there even if I just pop down, blah, blah, blah. And we were waiting for her. I think everyone had been there for sort of half an hour or so. And we were all getting, as you could see, we were getting ready for the photo. And she drove up. And mine and my mum's friend and neighbour, Suzanne, got out of the car. And I was shouting, like, come on, Mum, like, get in the photo. Come on, get in the photo. And she just didn't get out of the car. And then she just reversed back down the road. And I was like, oh, God. But I can understand, because you said to me that...
my family does.
Yeah, your mum was here. She'd have loved to be here. And that's what had upset you. I think...
I remember that. I found that really touching. Yeah.
And what I tried to shut down, because I know when Mert gets something into his head, it's hard to...
shift the mood.
Yeah, shift the mood.
Yeah.
He sort of like holds on to that sort of mind frame. So I wanted us just to have a nice night, and I wanted us to enjoy the people that were there. And that's why I was a bit like, get off the... That's why I was so stressed with him. I was like, just forget about it. Don't let it... Because I've lived with Mum for 27 years. I know how to deal with Mum, and Mum knows how to deal with me. I think when it's your mum, you know what to say, what not to say, when to leave it. When I think other people don't always know. And I didn't want... Because it was 2 days before the wedding. I didn't want to really be stern up and then not come.
But that was a boss move from your mum.
That was bold.
It's not just not coming. It's coming and leaving without
getting out of the car.
It's a mic drop.
And that's what I even said to her. I said, why didn't you just get out of the car, take a photo, say, guys, because I know she hadn't been feeling very well, and she said that she had to finish off the decorating for the wedding.
Yeah.
So why did I thought about a month ago, I still had another argument with her about this. And I said, why didn't you just get out of the car and say, look, guys, I'm really busy. I'll quickly have a photo. I've got loads of things to do. Would love to be here. I'll see you all later. And she didn't want to be there, but no. She didn't even get out. And it hurt me. And even in like the master interviews, like it didn't make it onto the show. When I was talking about this, I had not a full-blown breakdown, but it really upset me. And I didn't cry on the day, but when I was talking about it days after it, like it really did upset me because it was one of those things that I hopefully just want to get married once in my life. My mum's 70 now, so she's not getting any younger without being rude to my mum. But she's got loads of health conditions, and I wanted her to be there. And I wanted her to share that moment with us.
Yeah.
And I still don't know the reason, because the reason that she keeps saying does change from time to time, and it never really stays.
Classic. Yeah. I mean, and
their stories are never consistent.
I felt for you. I felt for the other brides too, but I felt for you in particular because when you're the bride, you're sold this idea that, and I've been married twice. Hopefully this is the last time. But
second American wife, second British husband.
Yeah. We have a type. We each have a type. Yeah. So you're sold this idea that like, oh, today is all about you and you're going to be looked after and you know everything. And for some reason, the day being about you and it being your day, suddenly like it's almost like there's some virus in the air that turns everybody into like, how can I make this about me? Yeah. And we had for our wedding, I mean, I was really gutted that my brother and sister couldn't make it because we got married in England, and there was like, you know, my sister's got a family and there were lots of other stuff going on.
A bunch of COVID stuff.
We had to
cancel 7 weddings before we actually finally did it.
Yeah, because we got engaged in February of 2020, so it was literally like a month before COVID. Wow. And we all thought this is gonna burn out, you know, after 6 months. But anyway,
let's just put the wedding for April. It'll be fine.
It was, but it was a dream. It was a dream not having bridesmaids.
Yeah.
It was, I just had my friends' kids be the bridesmaids and everyone else could wear what they wanted.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was so nice. But there is no other pressure like it in your entire life than it being your day. You're responsible for everything. And especially when you're on a budget, that's magnified times 1,000.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, I'm sorry, the cake cutting fee? The fuck is that? You know, there's all these things that you don't think of. Yeah. And then, but anyway, yeah, we're so happy that it worked out for you all.
So how are things now? How is day-to-day life? What does day-to-day life look like?
A bit boring, really. Now we're out of summer. We had like loads of things to do in the summer. We were doing like projects in the garden because we've got like a piece of land next to our house that.
Oh, lovely!
I asked the landlord if we could take on. So I'm into like my gardening and tropical gardening and different things. So I got used stacking in the summer, which he hated. He'd do like 10 minutes of work and he'd be like, "Oh, I can't do this."
Baby soft hands.
Hands, his feet, baby soft. Haven't done a day's work and just like, but we did really well. But like horrible thing. It's just like a normal day. Get up, have breakfast. Whether I've got some clients, sometimes you're on sort of like your Instagram, different things. Go around and see family. Go for a walk. You like going into town. You like just wandering off and going shopping. So I'm taking the cards. I'm going shopping. So I trust him with the card now. He hasn't come back with...
He hasn't bought Wagyu beef burgers and caviar.
My business head.
That caviar was... I understood that.
No, I got that too. But not 2 weeks before a wedding. Sure. So there's a question just, and we'll, I'm just aware of time. We don't want to take up too much of your evening, but there's a series of questions that I ask all my guests. And this is originally from an old show that was done in America. So for each of you, what is your favorite word?
Our favorite word? That's a hard one. What's your favorite word?
I have already you say. I'm saying that's
well, it depends what context it is. You've really stumped me now. You've really put me on the spot. Just one word.
Yeah, it can't be 5 minutes.
Yes. And it's okay if there's another question that's what's your favorite curse word. So we'll get there. And actually, we can start off with that if you prefer. What's your favorite curse word, each of you?
I've got two. I've got one that I use.
Just one.
I've got one that's slightly PC and one that's really, really not PC.
That's fine. We can bleep anything.
I me and my friends, we're a younger generation of UK culture, and I know we're very naughty, but we use the C word all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, that's something Americans are very I mean, I've been here for 15 years, so I'm getting used to it more, but it still shocks me every time I hear it.
As an insult, as something nice, what are you doing here? And you just chuck it into
everyday
sentences. And I know for a lot of people that it's completely the worst word ever, but I do like the word dickhead. I always you dickhead.
But dickhead can be affectionate as well, right?
When we were paddleboarding, and I was like, "Where are you going, dickhead? You're going to the hockey." But no, I'd say that was. I don't know what I'd say my actual favourite word is. Sure, I'm going to sound really cheesy here, and I've still not got quite used to saying this word yet. It's husband. I got used to saying fiancé. That for a long time, when me and Mert had just got married, I kept introducing him as my fiance, and I kept, no, it's my husband, and it just sounds so weird. But it's something that I never thought I'd have. I never thought I'd ever have that with Mert. So I'd say, Kojang.
What means first forward?
My favorite word is husband, or Kojang, which is Turkish for husband. Yeah.
What's your favorite word, Mert? What's your favorite word in English?
Sky.
Sky.
That's fantastic. What a good choice.
What a great choice.
Great choice.
What is your least favorite word?
Moist.
People don't like moist.
Very common.
We were discussing this the other day. Michelle's strangely okay with moist.
It doesn't bother me, but there's plenty of other words that do.
No.
Just didn't even have to think.
Why I said sky? Because more than the color blue, a sky with no end.
A sky with no end.
Very poetic.
I know, it's so poetic.
What's your favourite swear word, babe?
Swear?
Yeah.
What's your favorite bad word?
Yeah, bad. Swearing, I said dickhead.
Cunt.
So good. So good. Is there a good Turkish swear? Actually, here's the thing.
Yes.
David Sedaris, the writer, used to ask people at his shows, if you want to...
I have. Excuse me. I have. In the towel, I have. If you're looking perfect, you can find swear in Turkish.
Yeah.
In the towel, yeah.
Do they have a really good, what's the
I'll
best
give you
one? Yeah.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So in certain parts of Latin America, and for lots of reasons. We grew up speaking Spanish in my house and English. My parents are both white. I'm as you can see, very white, but my parents lived in El Salvador before they were married. And my dad's favorite, and this is very un-PC, but my dad's favorite insult in Spanish is "I shit in the whore that gave birth to you." That's what it translates to in Spanish. Is there like an insult in Turkish that's really nasty like that?
So like amına koyayım
mean fuck your pussy. I fuck your pussy mean amına koyayım. That siz amına koyayım çocuğu mean shut the fuck up motherfucker bitch son.
Oh, that's hot. Can you say it again? You don't have to.
Amına koyayım çocuğu.
But that's sorted.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Do you want to answer this first?
You first. Okay. You get it.
What was the options again?
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Emotionally, I wouldn't say turns me on, but like when me and Matt first met, his vulnerability was real a positive to me. I wouldn't say it turned me on that he was vulnerable. I think that's a bit weird to say. But it was just so heartwarming that he showed his vulnerability. He wasn't afraid to cry in front of me. That was like the first day. And I like, well, you turned me on when you get all shouty, to be fair. Like when he shouts like that, I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
Does it for me.
What about you? What turns you on? Like for like up here in your heart and in your junior.
Helen.
Turn you on.
What excites you? What makes you passionate?
Excited. I'm every day excited. But if she not giving me 5 minutes, needed 1 week, I'm more sad. She telling me I'm sick, I'm pain, this.
We're talking about things. We're going to be talking about things that make you excited, darling. Not the things that make you sad.
He's sad when he doesn't get excited. Yeah, that is perfectly reasonable.
What I said was like what I loved about you, what drew me in, and what my heart fell in love with was when we first met, and you have cry, and I love you when you're all strong, and I get a little bit horny when you shouting at me.
Propose?
What?
When we propose?
Yeah.
This purpose. Why I think your finger in the ring.
Okay.
My junior whack.
I think we're getting off topic now.
I didn't catch that. What was that?
Propose when I have proposed. In the board, private board. When I telling Shane, will you marry me, baby? She said yes. When she said yes, I have put a ring in the she's ring finger. I am this time awake. My junior whack.
Wag. Do we mean? Are we saying that was like a twitch?
Is that what was that?
That's what he's trying to say. That is
no. He was saying his junior wake.
Oh, it
like stand to attention.
Junior Mert. I am Mert. Junior Mert. Wake.
We have a lot of code words for things. So as you can imagine, that's Junior Mert down there.
I love that. We have that too. We talk about you have your 5
minutes.
Your 5 minutes. We call it the draining.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to be
Sometimes
drained.
you just need to be drained.
neither of us have been drained for too long. So yeah, we
draining.
Draining.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Draining.
It's not very sexy, I admit.
No.
What sound or noise do you love?
Sound or noise?
Oh.
Like, I love the sound of rain. Like, I love a thunderstorm. Not just like little bits of rain. I like full blown, the house is coming down rain.
Yeah.
Like, what do you like sound wise? And this is going to sound cheesy as well, because I'm full of cheese.
Violet.
What?
Violet.
You like the sound of violins?
Yeah.
I love a cello.
Oh,
I love the sound of a cello. I've always wanted to.
Violin
play.
Maybe in here, people doing different with violin, but my country very different. Taking your feeling, you going to your back life, then coming back. Very nice feeling.
Yeah, like a violin speaker. Yeah.
I like that too.
Not when I play it, you wouldn't.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Nails down a chalkboard. That is just like top number one.
Well, yeah.
What noise do you hate? More top number one. He hates the sound of my acrylics on my phone. Because obviously, so when I'm texting, I don't know if you can hear this, I'm sat texting like this, and especially like if I'm trying to text fast, it gets louder and louder if I'm angry texting.
That's amazing.
What actually said to me last night, he was like, for God's sake, he was like, next time you go to the nail salon, just don't put any nails on. And I was like, why? He was like, I can't deal with the noise of the tapping every day. So no, apparently this time I really got to go for short nails or no nails for a while.
Yeah.
This is I mean, they are very long this time. Like
they are
long.
They're very beautiful.
They're very nice. I'm jealous. I can never keep them on. That's the thing. I always end up chipping them, like no matter what I do.
But like immediately, like on the way home.
Yeah. Yep.
Every time she always comes in the house, there's one missing. It's like, well, why don't I bother doing that?
God, how has that happened?
Sorry, she can't cook, she can't washing, she can't do anything. I am like Shane's slave. I doing.
Right, that's why you do it.
I have doing cooking. I have clean all the house every day.
Your nose is going to get bigger, like I swear.
One last one. What's your?
Yes. So, well, there's two. We'll quickly do these. Right. What profession other than your own? So, what job other than what you do now would you like to try?
Oh.
I don't know. I'm going to throw in like an in-betweeners quote and say I want to be a dolphin trainer.
Oh, I like that.
Are you sure?
What about you, Mert?
I'm just saying there is dark stuff about dolphins.
I know. They're horny little buggers. They are, apparently so.
They are the sex pests of the deep. They are, yeah. Maybe that's why they need training, though.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What job would you like to do, Mert?
I can train him. I can train a dolphin. What would you like if you could choose a job? What would you do?
Still, I am totally 20 years. I am barber. I want open barber in the UK.
If you want to try a different job,
no, I won't.
You don't want to try the job.
But again, I love that.
I love that too.
He loves what he does
because I'm 29 years old. When I'm 28. 29 years.
No, you're not.
You don't know shit.
28.
Okay, I'm 28 years. I am not really, totally 20 years. I'm barber. Still, I want being barber, but I want to open here. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Again, it's the follows heart, right? Of course, he would never have done something that he didn't want to do.
Something different. Why I need? Because
right?
Perfect. I have worked in Dubai. I have worked in Qatar, Saudi Arabia. I'm number one in my job, in the barber. Why I need trying different? I don't know. I don't know what.
We all need to be a bit more Mert.
We all need to be a bit more Mert.
We do. Yeah. Do your last one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let these lovebirds get back to the 5 minutes.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive?
So if heaven real, if you go into heaven, and you can, what do you want God to say to you when you walk in?
Just you answer, please.
Mine's going to be really stupid.
I don't know.
Like, mine's just going to be funny because...
Oh, look, many times, we nearly 1 hour, 30 minutes, I'm here. Many times, I told just listen to your heart. Listen to your heart and give me your answer.
Okay. If I go to heaven, this is God's honest truth. If I get to heaven, I'd like God to tell me that there's a free bar there.
Love it. Love it.
And I don't get fat from drinking pints. That would be the dream.
Sweet.
And Mert?
Heaven and fire.
Hell.
Or I'm going to hell or heaven. Doesn't matter. But if God wants to talk to me,
what would he say when you come in through the door?
Just I want God saying to me, never know where is your mom and your father all okay.
Two different sorts of people here, isn't
there? But how beautifully you fit together.
Yes, and what a beautiful and is there anything that tell us where to follow you. Tell us. This is now that we've done the serious bit.
You might not be able to answer this. But are we going to see you again?
So we can answer this.
Okay.
We had a discussion with Discovery, and they said because our journey finished on such a high, and they didn't think that there was much more to film with us, so they wouldn't be taking us onto another series. So, foreseeable, I don't think you'll see us on 90 Days.
Okay.
For a while. You never know. Maybe something will pop up in the future. If something does pop up and they give us a ring, we definitely would say yes. But so we're opening up a Pride event at Birmingham Black Rocks Theatre on the 8th of June next year. So we're
congratulations. That's amazing.
We'll be having like a meet and greet. We'll be talking in like a panel, giving our sort of stories, different things like that. There'll be a chance for like photos, autographs, there might be some merch there. There's a lot of things in the planning stages. We're planning at the moment some funny Shane and Mert merch. I don't know if any of you saw a little like glimpse of it on my Instagram yesterday.
You have to spell merch with a T.
Yeah, you do.
You know
it has
that,
to be
right?
Merchandise.
Right. So we'll put the links to your YouTube channel on your Instagram and anything else. We thank you so much. This is, we could have talked to you easily for another 2 hours. You're so generous with your time and your hearts and your story. It really was an absolute joy to watch you and to get to chat to you. And the next time, anytime you're in London, we'll meet you anywhere and buy you a drink. We just adore you both.
I will buy you a pint that won't
both.
Make you fat. How about that? I'll find that magic pint.
Thank you guys so much.
Guys, thank you from the bottom of our hearts and all our listeners as well. Like, no one had a bad word to say. Right?
No.
So rare. Just so rare. So we adore you. Thank you so much. And as we always say at the end of our pods, we will see you soon.
See you soon.